Hello, good people. Spot of Nerd here with our second live stream that we are gonna do stuff with that I'm still getting used to, so you're gonna have to bear with me. That is my phone. And the reason I have that on is because, again, I am not the brightest tool in the shed when it comes to this stuff. So obviously, I want to make sure it's working. And before we get into it, let's make sure that this is working and you guys can hear me. Yes, you can. Nice. Okay, perfect. Again, it's simple, it's dumb. One day I'll trust it. Until then, you're just gonna have to bear with me on it or something. So I'll keep this short. I'll keep this sweet. I mean, this really isn't sweet, but I'll keep it short and sweet. Um, Everybody knows what's going on in California. It's not a secret. And quite frankly, I think I just wanted to get some thoughts out, some a lot of stuff is going on up here that I would love to get out here. And for those of you that do know me, for those of you that are aware of the content of this channel, got to be careful because this is political, what is going on in California. It is heartbreaking, it is tragic, and my God, I am praying every single day for these people that have lost everything and for these people that are fighting these fires. And I mean, I think the most heartbreaking thing for me is, there's not just there's the human aspect, but there's also the animal aspect. If you know me, you know I obviously worked with wildlife for, gosh, 20 years, and it was the greatest experience of my life. It really, really was. Watching these animals suffering and just being scared and freaked that's a special type of evil in the world that you can't really describe with words. And I just, without going down that road, which I could spend hours upon hours on, I don't understand. And I hope and I pray in an optimistic sense that this is that final straw where people finally stand up and say enough is enough. And I'm if you haven't caught on, I'm referring to the Californians, the people and their leadership, because I don't need to give you the facts. The facts are everywhere. I don't need to give you the pictures or what's been going on and blah 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 blah. It's You can look this information up yourself if you haven't already, which again I'm pretty confident 99.9% of you are aware of what's going on. But I just want to I think I'm asking the world. I'm asking you out there in the world, specifically those of you that are in California currently, is this it? Is this where you finally say enough is enough? Because sure, I've lived in California myself. I grew up in San Diego. I grew up you know, to this day, I've talked very little about it, and one day I want to talk a hell of a lot more, which maybe we'll do one of these live streams. My entire dream and my entire goal in life was to work for the San Diego Zoo, and I did. I actually achieved that dream, and I achieved my passion and my goal. It was the greatest experience. It was the greatest time of my life was working at the San Diego Zoo, and what I'm getting at there is, living in California, take the politics out of it just for a moment. It's incredible. It's a beautiful place. It's an amazing place. It's got thousands of miles of beaches. It's incredible. And getting to live my dream job was again the most amazing experience of my life. But I had to work at times 5 jobs just to make ends meet. 5 jobs just to make it bearable to where I could have food and I could have water and a roof over my head and yada yada yada. And that's not to play a violin. Let's be very clear with that. I have no intention of playing a violin here because clearly there are people right now who are experiencing not only the most evil in this world in relation to losing everything that they have ever had in their entire life, not just possessions, not material stuff, but legitimately have lost everything in their world, including people. I can't even begin to, I would not even wish that on my worst enemy. I really, really, hand to God, I wouldn't. But it really does come back to putting the politics back into it. Is this enough yet for those in California? Is it enough to make you want to change? To make you see what is happening, what has happened, the fact that it is day 5 now. You have looters everywhere. You have tens of thousands of buildings destroyed. You have these fires which are not even half contained. Where are your leaders? Where is your government in this situation? I just want to know. And I'm not trying to be, I promise you, I'm not trying to be an asshole or be sarcastic. I genuinely want to know, will this be enough for you to make that change? What is the change? I don't know. I'd be lying if I said I knew what that change was. But what I do know is you cannot tell me that what's going on right now in California, is okay. You can't. You simply cannot. You'd be crazy to think that what is happening in California is just simply just another day, another incident in the California year or whatever it is. Like I said, I've lived there. I know the Santa Ana winds. I know this all. I mean, I'm not a meteorologist. I don't pretend to know what's going on, but it can get crazy. I mean, one spark and this is the result. But my understanding from what I've seen, what I've read from my own knowledge, animals, goats, clearing debris, blah, 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 blah. My understanding is this might have been preventable. I'm not saying that this was never going to happen. I'm not saying fires will never happen and natural disasters and da 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 da. But when you also are now seeing that most of these have been caused by humans because of arson, again, when is it going to be enough? Is this enough? Are you finally seeing what's happening right now in California, Californians, and going, maybe now's the time? Maybe we start thinking about making the changes to better my life, my world, everything in between. And I'll simply leave you with that. One other little piece I want to talk about, obviously, being that it is January 10th, 2025, the whole Trump incident, because again, this is all tied together. Not, I mean, I'm not tying these fires to Trump and everything in between, but once again, this morning, the verdict basically says that Trump won't have to do anything at all. It is all politics. It is all bullshit. It is nothing more, nothing less. And obviously, he's going to appeal this bullshit trial or whatever you want to call it, because at the end of the day, no jail time, no fines. All it comes down to is they simply wanted to put quote unquote felon into his reputation. How sick and twisted these people are is something I could go on for hours upon hours, and I won't bore you to death in that regard. But I simply, as I've mentioned in the first live episode, or obviously in the episodes that we've done with reviews at times when it comes up, I'm done being quiet with it. I really, really am. Because if you think for a second that this has anything else to do other than that they just wanted one last shot at somehow putting a bad reputation on Trump, then I don't know what else to tell you. I really, really don't, because this right here, when he talks about the witch hunts and when he talks about the weaponization, I've talked about it, the weaponization of our justice system. This is exactly it. This is 1,000% exactly it. Just look at the Zuckerberg Facebook thing that also happened today, where he's going to be getting rid of the like the fact checkers and the DEI programs and things like this. And then my favorite part, because I think it was on, I was watching it on, I think it was Rogan or something like that, where he's basically saying, the Biden administration, they were calling my people and screaming at them, saying, "You got to hide this stuff, the COVID information, and blah 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 blah." And all I'm hearing is just victim, victim, victim. Zero accountability. And that is what I will finish this spiel up, tonight's spiel or today's spiel, whatever you want to call it. When are we going to start holding these people accountable? I personally, now that Trump is going to be president, I am officially going to become an American citizen. And I cannot wait to do it because I'm going to do it under his administration. I'm going to make that change through voting. Maybe I'll get out. Maybe I'll do some more of the politics stuff in a peaceful, respectful manner. But what I'm trying to get at here is, when are we going to hold these people accountable? Why do we let a couple hundred individuals decide what is right for, what is it now? Over 320 million Americans? And again, the Facebook stuff, like, you realize it's total and absolute bullshit that he had his people getting screamed at by the Biden administration about this and that. No, he simply he's what's that metaphor where you kind of cozy up to the new guy, to the guy that's in charge? That's all this is. There's no victim here. The victims were us. The victims were the people that are now dead because they had to die alone in a hospital because of what somebody may have posted or what doctors were trying to get out to the public and were shunned from society. Clearly, we can go down many, many different roads on that, but we won't, and I won't save you the trouble. But I just want to, again, I just want to point out, wake up, and I pray to God this is enough to finally get even those that, sure, I get it, you don't like the guy, but come on. If you can't see what's happening here, really, 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 you know what I mean? So I'll simply leave you with that. Surprisingly enough, there hasn't been a lot in the television department slash movie department. So that's kind of what I wanted to get, actually a second live episode thing out to y'all. I super appreciate everybody that watches and listens on the podcast. I really, really do. You know, if you know, you know, I would love you so, so much. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button right down below. Give me the like, throw me the comments. What is your thoughts? Like I said, I'm not pretending, I'm not being sarcastic. If you are in California and you vote for certain things, please tell me why. I really, really want to know because I just don't understand. I really, really don't. And we are 10 days away for finally from real change, real positive change that I pray to God is only going to make everybody's life better. So until then, until we maybe watch or see something video, movie, television wise that's worthy of giving you guys a legit full out review, we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Take care, y'all.